Hey, everything's good. Everything's good. How you doing?
I know what, overcapacity, but hanging in there.
I feel you. How was it that you were filming last week?
I was filming Terrence's film. I have a small role in Terrence's film. It's called Missed Transactions.
Oh, he's got another film coming out?
Actually,
Oh, really?
he's
That's
working
his
on it
this
right
is
now.
this is his film.
Yeah, I believe so. He wrote it.
Oh, okay. Wow. That's cool.
hmm
That's
Yeah, and then
cool.
on Sunday I was recording another episode for Hocus Pocus, so I get to.
Did we talk about you getting a role with Robert Sloan?
No, not really.
But you were getting something right. You got a call from him, right?
hmm
Okay. All right, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
All
then
right.
apparently at one point my name was in a Zoom meeting, so I was supposed to maybe be there, but I never got the invite, so I don't know if that got like missed lost in translation at one point or missed transactions.
Yeah.
But no, I have been nominated again, so I am now officially, I think, four times nominated for Best Actress. Or same
Yeah.
role. So,
Which one?
so I don't know.
The Hocus Pocus one?
Yeah, the Hocus Pocus. So, and then
Is
I got to film the next episode. I'm just a supporting character in it, but I get to come back, so that's fun.
so is it a series?
It's a mini series.
Oh,
I
okay.
think ultimately it's supposed to be so every episode seems to be getting a little bit longer, so I think they're aiming to ultimately make it like a film, but
Okay. All right. Um, I'm still writing the second Killer Sinners and Spies. I just finished writing the story of how you and Jermaine's character met. Um,
oh yeah.
it's romantic. I'm thinking of shooting it in black and white.
Ooh, that would be cool.
Yeah. So it's
That
kind
would
of
be
romantic,
really cool.
but
Can you do black and white and just have like little pieces of red?
we'll see. We'll see. Your character is just mean. I don't know. Your
Well,
character.
I didn't used to be. That was the whole point, the way you wrote it, that, I did fall in love with this person and actually think I was going to give up everything for him.
Oh,
Like,
trust me, you gave up a lot. You
and
at least
as the way I understand, and so this is interesting, right? Because I just saw an interview with the guy who played Vecna in Stranger Things, right?
hmm
Completely evil creature, ultimately.
hmm
Um, and the interviewer was asking, like, so do you think ultimately Henry, the Vecna, is misunderstood? And he said something that I thought was really interesting, and I agree to some point. He's saying that I think an actor always has to believe that if they're playing a villain, that they're misunderstood. Because if you don't, in the teeny tiniest way, understand that person's standpoint, then you can't portray those decisions, right?
Mm.
Do you know what I
So
mean? So, like, you have to understand somewhere where this person's coming from, at least a tiny bit.
yeah,
Otherwise, do you know what I mean? And
yeah.
in her case, like, I think she ultimately truly believed the kid was better off without her. Like, you know what I mean? It wasn't, does that make sense?
Yeah, yeah. It
Like, she
does. It does.
sat there and she was like, I'm gonna fail at this. This I'm good at. I'm gonna fail at this. So I'm gonna leave. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah.
So
And
even though
I
I am like literally the spit like the opposite of that, I can't understand. Like, you know what I mean? Because
and
if I
yeah,
don't, how can I sell it?
yeah. And in how you two meet, I think I gave a little bit of like, okay, she's probably gonna do this again. Because what you did in this story, you did something to somebody, and then people are like, okay, this is so romantic. But I'm like, she did that to that guy. We now see why in the future she's gonna do something. She did that thing. So,
Yeah, I
I don't want to
gotcha.
I don't want to give too much. I don't want now. So
hmm
that's that one. So there's gonna be five episodes. That's the third. That should be the third episode. I'm now working on your actual story, like
My origin
in
story. I would have had a very shitty childhood. Please
no no
give
no no
me a
not your not your origin.
traumatizing childhood.
No, 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 not your origin story, not your origin story. This one is more like
Oh,
not
okay. We're not
now
going
that
back
you
that far.
yeah, now that you've taken over in the States, something,
Oh, cool.
yeah,
Yeah.
something happens, something happens. But
Okay.
yeah, we'll talk about
Very
that
cool.
and we'll talk about that some other time. Well, I'm trying to finish the script. I should be done with that. Um, Probably hopefully by the end of the month. And then we'll see how things go. So
Creativity. Creativity can be fueled by many things. One of them being drugs. Can we talk about which drugs does Wes Anderson take?
honestly, you're not gonna like how my take on this film, but you might like the other part on the other take. But kick us off with the story. Kick us off with the show. Kick us off. Kick us off.
Hi everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Movie Unboxing with Marty and Bola. We are two filmmakers that are unboxing a film each week, talking about what makes it tick and how it was made, more moving about the film from a filmmaker's perspective.
And for this week, which is actually our very first uh
We
unbox
could see.
of this year, is called the Phoenician Scheme. It was released in 2025. This actually last year. This is Marty's pick. It was written and directed by Wes Anderson, who directed and or wrote movies like Rushmore. Let me see. The Royal
He has done
Tenenbaums.
so many, so
Yeah.
many.
The Life Aquatic with Steve Zuzu. Moonrise Kingdom. Stuff like that. The movie
Budapest
stars
Hotel, like well, Motel
Budapest Hotel.
Budapest.
Yes, yes, the
Um,
Budapest Hotel. It's an all-star cast. We've got Benicio del Toro as the lead actor here. We've got
Man, we're
Mia,
gonna sit here a while if you list all of these
not
actors.
all of them, but a little bit. We got Mia Tripleton, Michael Cera. I've always wondered what happened to him. He's kind of like after,
Michael Cera?
yeah,
So how did
he
he
fell.
even become an actor is my question.
How did he become an actor? I don't know. He kind of
There
fell off.
was a joke online about it. There's no offense to him, right? But the joke online was that Michael Cera looks like a pizza guy that stumbles on set. The director confuses him for someone, goes, "All right, go on, go do that scene," and this where he stayed.
I believe that because he doesn't look. He just looks so he only I think he can only play one type of role, and that's the role that he played in what's the movie that he got popular in, man?
I don't
Uh
know which one I think the first time I've seen him,
was the teenage one from
I
high
he
school?
was Scott Pilgrim.
No,
No, I know. I think I know what you're Adventure. Was it Adventureland? Was there something
no,
called
this is with
Adventure?
that they were in high school and they were just it was like one of the most misogynistic male stuff.
Super
Oh,
bad.
super bad. Yes, yes, that was the first time I saw him.
I don't think I've ever seen that.
You've never seen Super Bad? Oh my
I don't
God.
think I don't watch films like that. Like, I
Oh
don't.
yeah,
But
that's the first time.
Juno too, he was in Juno and he fit that character. So he's always that pizza guy that accidentally becomes an actor. Like that's the very definition.
Yeah,
Like, oh, you're here on accident. I get it. Like, how did
yeah,
you even get here?
yeah.
So
So
so this role was refreshing actually, because it was
it
the
really
other way
was because
around.
I
It
didn't know
was
it
the
was
other way
him.
around with him.
Yeah, I didn't know it was him. I think he did a great job in here. He showed some range with his
Listen,
performance.
Wes Anderson gives a lot of, how do I say this without, I don't want to sound ridiculous, but a lot of like weird people a chance, like, like weird looking, weird sounding, like he embraces that and I love it. It's
Hmm.
one of the reasons probably he's being, loved
Yeah.
on.
So we've got Riz Ahmed, Tom Hanks, Bryan Cranston, Jeffrey Wright, Scarlett Johansson, William Dafoe, Rupert Friend, and Benedict Cumberbatch, just to name a few. Just to name a few.
Richard Ayoade from IT Crowd. That one made me really happy.
Okay.
Speaking of weird people, he's
Yeah.
also a very weird dude, but he's so great.
So tell us what this movie is about. Because this I don't even
Why
know.
did you
I
not understand it? Did you have to Google?
honestly, when I was watching it, I'm just like, what is this? I'm like, where did Marty
Okay,
get?
and here's the thing, okay?
Hmm.
Halfway through the film,
Hmm.
I had a thought, and the thought was, Wes, I really wanted to love this movie, but I don't understand what this is about. And this is not the first Wes Anderson film that I felt like that about. However, once I finished it, it kind of came together. He's always done this, and I don't think story is his focal point. Does that make sense?
It does because
It's a piece of art altogether, and the way he tells these things is art. Like it was incredible to watch.
it
But yeah, at one point you're just lost, and I feel like that with every one of his films. At one point you just don't know what the heck is going on.
visually it was a masterpiece.
Incredible, right?
Incredible filmmaking, the aesthetics, the coloring,
But
and
this is why I wanted to talk about a Wes Anderson film because he has such a unique way of telling stories. And again, you could fail at delivering the story sometimes, you know. Maybe at one point I sat there and I was thinking, maybe you just need to be like really, really smart to understand his movies.
well, his movies are not they're not hard to understand.
No, they're hard to follow.
they're hard to follow because
Yeah.
I was getting the gist of it. I'm like, and there were some really funny moments, like really smart, funny
Mhm.
moments in there.
And
Like,
I
oh,
loved the ending. I think the ending turned it back around. So yeah, halfway through I was kind of like, "Oh." And then and then I loved the ending. The ending kind of made it for me because it was
I like the
so
basketball scene.
light. It was so lighthearted. It was so like, I don't know, there's something about it where it was like, oh, they have like their family business now and they're like father and son or father and daughter are like playing
Daughter,
cards
yeah.
together every night and they're getting married and I don't know. It was like, and he's got all these kids and he's got his little restaurant and he like fails at this big scheme thing, but ultimately almost lives his dream. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. It does.
So almost like I don't know if I don't hear so in my and this is my interpretation. This is not what I would say like necessarily the film really was about, but what I saw in it was this man was this big guy, so he touched on a lot of money, so he became greedy. Once all that was gone, suddenly the so was the greed, and that's when you realize I'm happy now with nothing, with the hole in my ceiling, so
Hmm.
much happier than how I was when I had all of this money.
Mm,
You know, in extension, I feel like money can't buy you happiness type of storyline, you know, but just told backwards. And I
yeah,
think, again, extremely outside of the box, if even near the box. Like,
yeah, yeah. So my what I really out the story I just didn't follow the story anymore. Just the visuals were just and the way the camera will move and will be stationary. Sometimes the camera will be stationary and then the characters would move. And sometimes the
yeah.
characters will be stationary and the camera
And
would
the camera would move.
move.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
and
And the
he had
division of like the colors and the all the money that had to go into just the set design.
I don't even think it was that expensive, to be honest with you. I think it was just like a cardboard. I think most of all the background was just cardboards,
You think?
cardboard paintings and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
because
That's,
they that even moves sometimes too, right?
yeah.
Didn't it?
So
Yeah.
you know the movie it reminded me of? It reminded me of Keira Knightley's her version of Anna Karenina. I don't know if you've seen
Oh, I
that.
did watch that. I did watch that
It
many,
sounded
many years
that
ago.
one was like on a sound stage and the scenes were being moved. Like you were watching a movie, but it was a theater performance.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
that was
A
what I
little
saw.
bit.
That
And
was what
he
I
does
saw.
that because I think in the other one that you mentioned earlier with the aquatic adventures or whatever,
Yeah, Bill
they're
Murray.
in a submarine, and the
Mhm.
submarine is also, I think, just like a paper thing. That like I don't think like yeah, a lot of that, but it's just like the amount of just thinking and planning so that everything visually on screen is always absolutely perfect. Like there's not a single thing out of place. There was not I wonder if they've measured it because the symmetry, the you know what I mean? Like it was just
That's what
the
I noticed because
colors.
I said I was watching it, and it wasn't until the end of the scene, end of the movie, where they sat down and the cards, and the daughter sat down and got the cards. And to me, I said, everything is precise.
Mhm,
Everything is placed in a precise way. And I'm
mhm.
wondering if they had to take a picture during rehearsal to make sure that this is how things are. It's everything has to be precise. It almost seems like as
Someone
an
drew it.
someone
It
drew it.
almost feels like
Also,
someone drew it. Yeah.
I think also the actors, even there was a lot of creativity in creating their characters, but I think
Hmm.
they had to create they had to fit into a box. There
The
wasn't room,
actors.
the actors, there wasn't room to
So at this
that's the
point,
feeling I got.
with the level of fame and with the level of reputation that Wes Anderson has, likely he has the freedom of sitting down and writing something with these people already in mind, and they're probably gonna say yes. You know what
Yeah,
I
so it's
mean? Does
Wes
that make
Anderson. Yeah,
sense?
it's Wes Anderson. So
So I think, yeah, right? I mean, if Wes Anderson asked me to be in his film, like, would I even like
I'll do it.
bat an eye? I would be on the plane. Like,
I'll do it. I probably don't know what the movie's about, but I'll do it.
don't care. Don't care. That's exactly my point.
Yeah, but
So again, so much thought put into it, but you're right. It could almost be that he wrote it, that he already wrote it with the actors. Does that make sense?
yeah, he
Because
had the
again,
actors in
like,
there.
can you imagine anybody else playing Benicio del Toro's role? It
Not
couldn't have
really.
been anybody else.
I don't
It
think so.
couldn't
No,
have.
it couldn't. I don't think so.
Just like Bill
But
Murray and the other one.
exactly, that one in the Life Aquatic. That when
Was
I
Bill
saw
Murray
the,
Jesus in this one, by the way?
but I don't think Bill Murray was in this one.
Yes.
You think that was Bill Murray? No,
You
that was Bill
belong
Murray.
with God,
With
Jesus, or
God,
whatever.
yes, that was Bill Murray. I was saying the same thing.
Hmm.
I was like, that looks like Bill Murray. That's it.
Hmm.
Um,
So
and
that
here's another.
part I didn't understand because there's multiple situations in which it just looked like they all died. Like when the explosion happened, when the uncle
Yes.
um ends up exploding himself. So that part was very well told because it was showing him he was gonna, throw the grenade. He's about to die because he's poisoned.
Hmm.
So everything that was great in his life flashes before his eyes, which makes him self-reflect and he protects the grenade so
Hmm.
nobody else dies. But right after that, they're showing all of these people escorted by an angel. And I'm like, so did everybody die? That doesn't make any sense. You know what I mean?
I didn't get the part two. Here's another thing I've noticed. He used every camera angle in the book, close
Mhm.
up, dolly, zoom, the shot from the bottom up. You know what I'm saying? Um, and he would use that in every scene. He can use
Yeah.
that in the same scene. You're seeing a wide shot, medium shot, close up, a dolly shot, a zoom in shot, a
Yeah,
shot
stuff
from.
is happening so fast. That editor had so much work.
I'm like, and I was impressed with it. I was so impressed with it
Yeah,
because
that's what I'm
you
saying.
you get the feeling that so much is happening in just one scene, even though it's just two, three people talking in that scene, and nothing really is going on because they're just sitting there just talking. But bam, cut. You know, they're going from this angle, that angle, this angle, that angle. And you're like, damn, there's so much going on. It feels like
Yeah.
there's so much going on, but there's really nothing going on. They're just talking. You know what I'm saying? So I like
But he
that.
made the talking interesting. You know what I mean? You
That
know
made
how
it
sometimes
interesting.
you could have so much exposition on the one person holding their monologue, and
Hmm.
it's like you're zoning out, you're not listening. And even if you aren't listening to this and you lose train of thought, so much amazing things have just happened that looked incredible that you haven't wasted your time. And that's kind of what I'm getting at with this. Like he is visually so incredible that even if the story was crap, or even if you completely didn't get the story, you still haven't wasted your time. You know what I mean?
Exactly. And I like the fact that the background was art in itself, so that you're watching two people having a conversation, but in the background you're seeing some beautiful aesthetics, in the
Yeah.
background and stuff like that. So even if you just kept the camera on those two people and you listening to them, you are still looking in the background, be like, oh, that's a beautiful painting back there, or that's a beautiful wall back there, or whatever. And then the shots just start going close-ups, medium, wide shot, zoom in.
And
Uh,
I think one of my favorite camera angles was actually the very, very last one where they're playing cards
mhm.
and it just pans slightly, so they're a little off center, and you just see the water dripping in the bowl. And
Yes.
it's like poverty, and that made them happy. Like, I don't know, it was just like that's why I'm saying I think the whole money thing and him losing all the money and realizing that he's happier now than he's ever been
Mhm.
was the point of it, because it literally ends with pointing out how poor this is, how poor we are. We can't
Mm.
fix our roof.
So my favorite shot of the whole film was when they were trying to get onto the ship, and they're just standing at the bank of the sea. They're standing on the bank, and I could look at you looking at the ship, and it looks like a painting. Like they're standing in front of a painting, and then the ladder just comes down, and you'd be like, "Oh, okay." It's I know it's a wall that they just
Right,
painted the
right,
ship on,
right.
but then they put the ladder there, and then they're climbing up, and like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Now I'm beginning to figure out how Wes Anderson is doing this. And that's when I
That's what I
read.
was gonna say. I think there is so much you can learn from him. There's so much as a filmmaker that you can learn from him. And I'm not saying make a film like him, because I don't think anybody could ever achieve this. But there's so many ideas, the creativity, the outside of the box thinking, the using of certain camera angles and certain editing things and certain um designs, set designs, and certain lines, even acting, writing, like that you can use completely differently than what we have cliche wise always done. Does that make sense?
Yes, because like I said, it seems like he breaks all the rules.
Exactly.
It like he
But
with
he
his
does it
with
so well.
yeah, with the camera angles and the way he moves the camera, he's breaking all the rules, but it works for the quirkiness of the story. You almost can't use this style for any other type genre of film. You might be able to try it. You might try it, but you got to be very careful. Kind of like when you said, like, "Oh my God, how's the work the editor's got to do that?" You may not be able to get away with that with another genre of film. You can try it.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think I'll try it. Next time I'm shooting, I'll be like, let's see if we can do this, bam, 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 bam.
I'm thinking like the marketplace, there's a couple of little things that I could have had, like the really quick edits of like, flowers, brownies, shoes. Like, you know what I mean? Like just little things where you're kind of like you could have made it funnier this way.
You think
But
so?
it takes so much skill. It takes so much skill. Just imagine it's a feature too. It's not just a short. And
Mhm.
you have to remember every single, yeah.
Well,
So I
I
think,
think it'll work in a short because you have such a short time to put a lot of information into a short. So with this style, you might be able to get away with it in the short. Be like, okay, I don't have a lot of room to, to film a lot of things. So I'm just gonna just put different angles, and that will tell most of the story for me. Over here, to do it in a
yeah.
feature film, the only way it'll work because there's not much going on other than just people talking. And then you can just boom, 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 boom. And they're just talking and there's just different angles. And the camera's
So I
moving. Go ahead, go ahead.
Yeah, I don't remember who made the Scott Pilgrim movie, but I don't know why I'm just actively thinking about this right now, probably because I'm staring at Michael Cera. There's multiple scenes where something like happens that's like super quick and it
Mhm.
doesn't make any sense. It's so animated, it's so unreal, and it's based on a comic book, so it made sense and it fit there and it worked there, but so there's this like situation where he's gotta leave and his brother tells him like just don't go out, and he goes, "Oh yeah, I won't." And then all you see is like zipper, keys, door slams. Like just those three things.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Like
yeah,
just
yeah, yeah.
telling like a really in like a really cool way, telling like, okay, no, I won't leave. And you just see like an extreme close up of the jacket zipping up, then you just see hear the keys and the door slams, and that's it. He's gone. Like,
And that can work for a short because you're moving fast. Like, okay, we gotta move fast. Zip, key, out the door, bam, and you get the
yeah,
artist gets the message. Like, okay, he puts his jacket on, he grabs the car keys, and he's out the door. Simple, but you do it in such a with quick shots. You've got two.
right.
That's like with one close up, one medium shot, and maybe a zoom in or something like that.
And a lot of it is pickups, like you don't even need the actor for it. You
Oh
already
yeah,
don't need the actor. The actor can come in 30 minutes later because you filmed his exit without him. You know what I mean?
yeah, exactly. You can do that. You can do that. So it felt like you were watching a postcard with this movie, like a travel postcard, like from the 1950s or something like that, like an old travel postcard. And it's just a series of postcards just put together, and and it tells a story, like one postcard, another postcard, and it's just telling the whole story of group of people. And that's another thing I got with it. The only thing I didn't get was whenever they had like the little note in the on the screen, and they were going to another scene or something like that. Like they would take
Yeah,
like
it was
something.
just showing you how much money he's still missing. So he has all these partners that he's trying to convince to give him their money. So it was just checking off like this person worked, this person worked. Obviously, Uncle Newbar didn't work.
Yeah, I like the scene in the ship on the ship when they're giving the blood, and then
The
the guy
blood
just
transfusion. Oh,
yeah,
that was such a great scene.
Jeffrey Wright didn't want to invest, and so he brings out the grenade and pulls the pin, and everybody's like, "Huh?"
But the whole conversation too, it's just like because I trust you. It's like okay, fine. I guess I
Yeah, I
trust you
trust you
too.
too. I'm
Like
like, really? He's just
that's
trying to
enough.
blow.
Also, like that's enough blood.
Yeah, I said like that's enough blood. That is true.
And then
That's
my favorite line of the film is, "I myself feel very safe."
no, the elevator scene where they shot the guy in the elevator.
Oh yeah.
The elevators, just
Elevator. Whole film felt like an elevator ride.
I to me it felt like a postcard. Just looking through a postcard, a series of postcards, and just and all of it just
Either
tells a
way,
story.
whatever, you cannot tell me that this man is not full of incredible ideas and talent and drugs and
Or you think he takes a lot of drugs?
I don't know. I'm not accusing anyone of anything, but man, that looked felt like a trip a little bit.
It does.
And
It
I've
does.
never been on one.
I've never the only movie that like I said that this movie reminded me of was Keira Knightley's a version of Anna Karenina, which is the set just was changing. You can just see the set just moving every time, and then it's a new set and everything like that. And you can see them moving the set, but it flows with the story. So it's a play, but it's also a movie
Yeah.
at the same time. So that's what
Well, have you seen any other Wes Anderson movies
I saw
from the top of your
Rushmore.
head?
I saw Rushmore a long time ago, but I never finished it. And then I saw the Royal Tenenbaums. I never finished that one too. It just wasn't. This is the first one I've watched that I finished. Um,
So I know
so
I've seen the one with the aquatic whatever. I just forgot
I've
the
not
name
seen that.
again.
I've only seen like the trailer or the making of that one.
And I know I've seen Moonrise Kingdom.
Moonrise Kingdom, is that the one with Bruce Willis?
No, I think it's Tom Hanks.
Moonrise Kingdom?
Right?
I thought that was Bruce Willis. I haven't seen that one though.
Let me see. I'm looking it up right now because I'm trying to remember, but yeah, oh yeah. Bruce Willis, Edward Norton, and Bill
Edward
Murray.
Norton too. Okay, yeah, yeah. I never saw that one, but that's
Jason Schwartzman. Oh yeah. Yeah, always filled with very, very good actors. But generally they all feel a little bit like this. Like this is just that's a Wes Anderson movie. Like that's his style, that's his like way, and the coloring and the vibes are always the same time frame. Like, Um, so I bet he's also always working with the same, with the same camera people, with the same editor, with the same colorist and stuff like that.
He he better work with the
But
same
generally
editor.
whatever you say, it's like it's such a work of art and he's put so much in it. Like you can feel and see that he's put his all in it. But
Mm,
also what you can see is one thought that I had while I was watching it is with this guy doesn't give a shit. He doesn't give a shit if anybody out there is going to watch it and say, that sucked. He doesn't care. He doesn't care that there's rules of like, oh, you should probably explain this to the audience or they're not going to understand it. He doesn't care because that's the vision that he had.
yes,
Period.
yes,
Completely uncompromised art.
yes. So
You know what I mean?
yeah,
And
I
so
get you.
if there's anything that we should learn from him is probably that because we are very often, and I think the best of us are very often concerned with, well, how's the audience gonna respond to this? Are they gonna find this funny? Are they gonna understand the storyline? Are they gonna like this character? Are they gonna, you know what I mean?
Mhm. Yeah,
He doesn't care
and
about any of that. Look at this film.
exactly. And when you say it that way, at the end of the day, as people who are making art, not everybody's gonna get it.
Exactly.
Not everybody's gonna get it.
Exactly. It's
Um,
art.
it's art.
There's no rules. It's what does Bob Ross always say? There's no mistakes, only happy accidents.
Only happy accidents. No rules. Not everybody's gonna get it. Everybody's gonna see differently. We can play this for somebody else and they would see it in a completely different way. It's one of the reasons why the Mona Lisa painting is one of the greatest paintings of all time because people looked at it and they had different opinions about it. Somebody
Some
said she
people
was look
see her smiling and
smiling.
some
Some people say
don't.
she
Yeah.
was sad. Some people say she was angry. I thought when I first saw a replica of it in school, I said she was crying. Somebody said no, she's smiling. You know what I'm saying? And that's the beauty of art. Everyone has their own interpretation of it. So not everybody's
Everyone's
going to be a fan of,
reality is different
yeah,
ultimately.
not everybody's going to be a fan of this type of movie, but he's going to have some people who really like this. They live in
Hmm.
that quirky world and they love quirky art and they're going to love this. This is like the best thing for them. Is this something for me? Mm, there were moments here that there were like really funny, quirky moments that I really liked and really laughed at, but it's not I'm not gonna be rushing to go see a Wes Anderson movie. Now, unless we have to
I
like,
am.
you okay.
I am. After this, even more so because the last Wes Anderson movie that I watched, I was not this deep into filmmaking. I was always an actress,
Hmm.
but I was never really very concerned about the other parts of it. And right now, I am so interested. I'm so intrigued about writing, directing, camera, editing. Like, I want to learn all of the parts, and I am actively rushing to see more Wes Anderson movies, but not even to watch them as a full story, but to literally study them like a handbook in college. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, if that's the case, I would do that. That would be the only reason for it. Then that means I just have to get my mind, get away from the story. Like, okay, I'm not gonna get the story. Don't focus on the story. You're only watching this just for the camera angles and the lighting and the visual aesthetics of the film. More like the camera angles and the movements of the camera. Because I think he does a masterful job of doing that in this film. And I think if they're all his films are that way, I would watch it just for that. But I have to get into my mind that, okay, I'm not going to get the story. I'm probably not going to like the story. You're not watching it for the story. So this is why I gave the movie a 5, only because of the camera angles and the camera movements. For the story, I said, no, it
Yeah.
doesn't live up to that for me. So I'll give it a 5 out of 10 for just because of the camera angles and the camera movements. What
I'm
do you
giving
give it?
this an 8.
You give it a
I'm
what?
giving this an 8.
An 8?
Mhm.
Oh my.
I think it's a masterpiece. I really do think so.
because of the camera angles and the movement, or and the story
I
together.
know, I like the story. I like the moral of the story. I like every single actor. I liked all of it. The music, the like, and I mean, it's also for me just so inspiring. It's so inspiring that he just follows his like vision 100%, like uncompromised. It's just I support that wholeheartedly. But no, I like the story. Oh, like I said, ultimately, halfway through, it gets slow. It gets slow with these things. And I felt the same way with Moonrise Kingdom, I think. And but it picks back up. You just have to get through that hump. That's just the way he tells the story. But other than that, it's just it's so meticulously worked into perfection. Every single shot, every single scene, every single edit. Like it just
Yeah, I agree with you. Like I said, everything seemed so precise. So there was no room for like with spur of the moment creative stuff on set. This was like months of planning every shot, every
yeah, and I think that's like one of the, you know how sometimes we have this as actors we have this freedom of like just kind of twisting the lines around a little bit, saying it a little bit our way. I don't think that was the
I don't think
case.
that was possible in this one. I think you
Yeah,
had to say it as verbatim on
exactly.
script as possible.
Because there's poetry in there too. Like it's just
Yeah,
it's like I said, it's so much art coming together. It's just it's impressive to me. It's impressive to me what he
the
made.
camera angles and the camera movements were the most impressive thing to me. That's why I give, and the acting was good. I like the acting, but
What
I
about
give
the
it.
colors? Like all the colors were so perfectly placed. I
They
don't,
were
I
they
just,
were they were dull to
it
me.
doesn't.
They were dull to me because it was
Really?
an
No, those are my favorite. That is like the coloring that I would like in my films, but of course, find a colorist that can do that.
nah. It was they were dull to me because they were depicting the 1950s, and the 1950s in America was a kind of dull time. You know what I'm saying? Even though it was economically prosperous for all Americans, there was peace. Um, there was just nothing going on. It was just everything was just dab and dull. So
Black and
you
white.
not necessarily black and white. If you watch Mad Men, the show Mad Men, it kind of depicts the early part of the 60s, but coming out of the 50s was just so plain. It was like a plain Jane type of coloring
I don't
society.
know. I
So
love the style and the colors.
it was bland. Not it wasn't bad. It was just so bland because I was looking at the colors and I knew we were going to talk about the colors, and I'm just like, okay, this is 1950s.
But can you tell how every single color is actively chosen and placed? I mean, it's just
Yeah, it
even
was.
her makeup. Look at her makeup. Everything was perfectly picked out. Like there's no reason for a nun to have makeup like
Yeah,
that.
yeah. I think everything was very precise. I like thinking about the nun. I like the fact that Michael's character was, was wooing her throughout the whole movie, and then and she's refusing him, and at the end she gives him a kiss. I think that's right before he goes into the quicksand or something like that. She gives him a kiss or something, like tie this thing around me, and then she gives him a kiss, mwah, and then he jumps in, and I'm just like, really, you're nothing. Like he's been trying to woo you this whole time,
And
and
the
you just
drinks every single time. I've never had hard liquor. It's not hard
yeah,
liquor. Okay, too.
okay, yeah, yeah. She's like, oh, I don't drink hard liquor. It's a beer. Give it to me. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, you're a nut.
And
What are
she
you drinking
smokes
beer?
the whole time. I know. I loved her
Exactly.
character. It was
Yeah,
so
it's
cool.
I like her character too. But if you're talking about the moral of the story, I think this is a good in terms of like the father trying to reconnect with his daughter because he almost doesn't care about his sons. Almost, it's just like, oh, I've got nine
Well,
sons.
they're all adopted, right? Or most of them are adopted.
Yeah, but he doesn't. It seems like he doesn't have a connection with them. He's actually trying to have a connection with this girl. You know what I'm saying? Who's his
Does
brother's.
he? He feels cold to me.
Well, he's trying to.
Yeah,
You know what
he's
I'm
just
saying?
incapable of that.
He's just
Yeah.
not. He just doesn't have the empathy to. He doesn't have the human empathy to really connect. But he's trying.
Hmm.
Plus, we find out that she's not may not be his biological daughter. That might be his brother's daughter
Hmm.
because he slept with the wife. So that's That's really weird. But I give it a five just because of the camera angles and the camera movement. That's and I like the acting too, but the story just like it
It
was
was
just
too
not my
hard.
speed. It was just not my speed. The
Hmm.
color the color was bland. It's not bad, but it fits the atmosphere that they were trying to depict, which was the 50s.
Yeah,
So, and I think 50s coloring is bland to me. So it's not bad. Doesn't mean it's bad. It just means it's just plain. But you give it an eight. I'm surprised you gave it an eight. But I think this is the movie. This is
I
your.
loved it.
This is you. This movie's you. I said this is Marty all the way. This is it. There's a character in the
What
movie that's named
chaos!
Marty. There's a character's named Marty.
You, there was?
Yeah, his character's named Marty.
I missed that.
Yeah, his character's named Marty. So yeah. So you give it an eight. I give it a five. That's good. So for next week's movie,
Hmm.
yeah, you still have Apple TV?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. So do you want to? So let's. This is this. I have to. We gotta make this choice. Do you want to do an indie film or a big budget film?
That's up to you. I mean, you make the choice. I could do an indie film.
Nah, we'll do an indie film next time. Let's do this one. Formula One, the Brad Pitt movie.
Mm, okay.
We're doing the Formula One. The
All
Brad Pitt
right.
movie is on Apple TV for next week. Now, I think there's some great camera angles and camera shots for that one. And there's a lot of
Mhm.
color, lots of color,
Are you color deprived?
lots of color, lots of bright colors. Yeah, so we're gonna do that one next week. So you good? You ready for that one? You don't seem too impressed.
No,
You're
it's gonna be fine. I
not too.
haven't seen it. I don't know.
I've seen it.
It's
I
just
saw it.
I grew up with my dad and my uncle watching Formula One 24/7, and I'm just kind of like, "Bleh," if it comes to the topic, you know.
Nah, this is gonna be. I just started getting into Formula One like years ago through like one of these Netflix shows. So I don't really watch the race, but I watch it through the Netflix show. Because it's like behind the scenes for like the whole season of the drivers and stuff like that. It's pretty cool. But this Formula One, the way it was shot, why you making that face? It's like you're disapproving. Like, oh my God, this is not my
No,
movie.
I've been watching Formula One, and it's boring when you watch it. Like
It's not.
just they
No,
just they drive in circles, man. It's so boring. But
I
I'm
get.
not a sports person like period. I don't watch sports. And that
Okay,
is kind of similar.
but this one you're gonna enjoy because it's not just them driving around. The camera angles are gonna pull you in. I promise. You might become a
Okay.
fan of the sport and start watching it.
I don't
I'm
think so.
telling you,
But I'm
you're
not
gonna
saying the movie's not going to be good. I'm saying I'm not going to watch sports.
trust me. You okay? Well, you know what? Let's just get you to watch this one, and then we'll
Okay.
see from there. So, guys, that's the episode for today. Let us know what you think about our unboxing of the movie, The Phoenician Scheme. Do you understand? Do you, if you've seen it, let me know. Do you understand the movie? And what do you think about our analysis and stuff like that? Let us know in the comment section. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, subscribe to the newsletter. We're gonna be heavily on the newsletter this year. So subscribe to that too. I'm gonna leave a link to the newsletter and all that kind of stuff. And if you haven't seen Formula One, go check it out. It's on Apple TV right now, starring Brad Pitt and yeah, what's that? Damson Idris. Yeah, Damson Idris. And there's another person there, another popular person there. I can't remember his name right now. But anyway, yeah, go check that movie out because we're gonna be unboxing it next week. And we will see you guys next week. Peace. Hold on.